Alright, Crewton Ramone's House of Math. Actually, let me start from the beginning. So the idea is that your children should get some experience with numbers, playing and building. So they're just making a square and counting it. That's a 4, that's a 9, that's 16. This takes a while to count, and you can teach them 4, 8, 12, 16 with songs. 3, 6, 9 makes it much faster. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This is actually the first one of your skip counting songs that you should learn, or skip counting, because the pattern is super simple, right? It's just 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Kids love doing it. Okay, and I've got entire lessons on my website talking about the fact that you don't necessarily need to teach your multiplication tables 1 through 9. The first ones you should teach are the easy ones, like obviously 1. 9, believe it or not, is super easy once you know what you're doing. 5s are easy. 2s are easy. And so it doesn't have to be in the order 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And then you can do it in families where they can do 2, 4, and 8. Did that make it on there? Yes, it did. And then we can do the families of 4, 6, and 8. You'll see that those guys are, right? Because this is 1, this is a 1.5, this is twice, this is 1, this is 2 of them. This is cube of them, right? So anyway, these are families of problems. And then the last ones, except for the fact that you have the song, are 3 and 7. So then 7, definitely save 7 for last, because it takes the longest and does the most counting, because it doesn't have a pattern that repeats, whereas these guys have patterns that repeat. You just have to know, to get to the 0, how to do it. And then after they got some multiplication down, and see, you're using this to teach them multiplication. So the next thing, after squares, is cubes. So here's to the first power, here's to the second power, here's to the third power. So we see that 1, 1, 1, 2, 4, 8, 3, 9, 27, etc. Right? All the way down to 9, and I just had a student. And then the other way to do it, or to show them, is by making on this one, there is my 3 square, right, which is 9, 3 times. So when they get this picture, and I'll put it here, what they're seeing is this thing right here, where this is the 10s, right? So I have a 10 square, which is 100, 10 times. So I can see that 10 to the third is the same thing as 1,000. Now, what if I'm 12 times 12, this is 144, 12 times. You should be familiar with that number. That's a cubic foot, right? That's 12 cubic. A foot cubed is 12 times 12 times 12. Those numbers should be familiar with you. So over here on the numeric side, this is x squared and this is x. So there it is. This is my x squared, which in this case is 9. Well, let's make it nice. 9. And this is my x, 3. So that's my x cubed, which is the same thing as 27. Simple. There it is in drawing form. Here it is with blocks. And then you can do the same thing. If I did, this is a 3 cube, this type tells me what the cube's going to be. But more fun is making an actual cube where we build them. Look, it's a cube. I mean, it's an actual cube, right? 2 by 2 by 2. And then you can do the same with 3 by 3 by 3. And you can do the same with some more blocks. You're going to need some building of 4 by 4 by 4. Or once you start getting bigger, like out towards 6, maybe you just want to make 3 10s and a 6 times, which would be faster to build it, and understand that you're just taking your cube and making length times width times height. Easy. Right? So we could say this is 6, this is 6, this is 6, and the whole thing is 216 when we count it, because 36 6 times is easy, right? And so what do you get? You're going to get multiplication lessons, you're going to get, right? And you get familiarity with numbers, right? Get some number sense in there, so that they know, like when I see 7 to 9, I know that that is that right there, because I know the cube root of 729, because I'm familiar with it, I've played with it, I've built it, I've played with kids, and so on. So give your kids the same opportunity to play and build. And this would be 8 tens and a 1 9 times. Thing's huge, takes forever to build. And it's fun, right? Little kids will tell you it's funner. The bigger it is, the funner it is. You probably won't be able to do it on your kitchen table. Probably easier and funner to do it on the floor. And all you're doing is giving your kids some experience with these numbers. Simple as that. And then understanding definitions. Like when I see, I'll keep this brief, but I've just had trigonometry on the brain lately because it's toward the end of the year and many kids, this is where they fall down and start having trouble. But if I'm looking from this side, this is going to be 60, this is going to be 30, and this is going to be 90, then I should know the definition of sine, cosine, and tan. And then I should also know the definition of cosecant, secant, and cotan. Right? But first we do these. And then we understand that sine really means, if I'm looking from sine, that means opposite over hypotenuse. So it's going to be square root of 3 over 2. Cosine is going to be 1 over 2, because this is a 1. And that's going to be my 2. So I know my outside. And 2. And then I have this one over here. We'll do that like this. Doesn't matter which way I look. This is 1, this is 1, this is square root 2. So then I can do my sine, cosine, and tangent for 45 degrees. And then understanding that pi is, my circumference divided by diameter, which means my circumference is pi d. Those things are easy. And all this, we're talking vocabulary here, right? Technically, this is also vocabulary. Those are equal. Make that a cube root, right? These are synonyms. That's the same number. This is just talking about it using a radical, and this is, right, that is just the number. And then I could say, if I know x squared is 81, then x has to be 9. If I know x cubed, then how do I find that? Well, I take the square root of both sides. Right? I square root this, and I get x. I square root that, I get 9. Or I could say, x is the square root of 81, but Mrs. Freckle-Knots probably won't like that, so what's the square root of 81? 9. And then if I say x cubed is, I don't know, we'll make it fun for a change, instead of 1,000, then I take the cube root of this and the cube root of that, and I find that it's just 10. And then when we start fooling around with base 10, oh gee, the exponent and the zeros, they'll start making up their own rules and understanding how it works and so on. Because like when I'm in base 10, if this is x to the 4, there's going to be 4 zeros there, right? Alright, I think that's my cue. Time to call it a day. But the idea is give your kids some number sense, and the way you're going to give your kids number sense is not by giving them worksheets till they throw up and are sick of you and hate school. The way you're going to give them number sense is playing math. Right? Just playing with blocks. Building stuff. Right? Well, I'd have to get a whole bunch more 9s, right? I'd have to get 9 by 9 and then go up 9 times. That's fun. Or take 81, like I said, and go out 8 tens and a 1 and do that 9 times. Either way, it's a lot of building, it's a lot of counting, and it's the last one. And see, when you first start off with your 5 and 6-year-olds, don't go out till 9, just go out till 5, close enough. And then go play, do something else. Put it in your math town, right? Make a cube in your math town. That's one of the places that they go. When they get older, the next time you do it, you do these, and you do 6 and 7. And then maybe the next time you do it, they do these, and 6 and 7, and they do 8 and 9, all the way till they get to 12 times 12 times 12. Right? You should, like I said, you should know. This is a number that should be somewhat familiar to you, because that's a cubic foot. What is that? What number is that? I'll leave it for you to do on your own time. Alright, Crewton Ramone's houseofmath.com for more. There are cool lessons showing up all over the place. I've added more behind paywalls. There are more on the Patreon, on the Facebook page, which is basically if you do Patreon, you get to the Facebook page as your reward. And the passwords have changed. And they constantly change. If the password changes while you're still having your old password and you want the new password, simply, the contact information is on every single page of my website. Simply send me an email that says, I would like the new passwords, please, and you'll have them within 24 hours. Unless I don't identify you as a lifetime member, because some people think that, you know, they are, when it turns out they're not, or they bought a annual or something, you know, a couple of years ago, and an annual is not a lifetime pass. A lifetime pass is a lifetime pass. So anyway, there is plenty of video like this and more showing up on my website and on the Facebook page. Look for them. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe, and maybe you want to share. All right, Crewton Ramone's houseofmath.com for more.